Welcome back to Shining Force. Last time we finally reached Runefaust. We were forced to battle against King Romladu, who, as he lay dying, was freed from Darksol's mind control, and told us that we had to go defeat Darksol and stop him from resurrecting Dark Dragon. And we made our way through the gates of the Ancients to the Castle of the Ancients, but before we can fight Darksol, we have to fight our way through the castle's various ancient defenses. So basically, we're in the home sphere. We're fighting the last couple battles. It's gonna be pretty epic, hopefully. So let's make a copy of the file, and then let's keep going. Get hyped for this battle. Well, first I have to go to the battle, obviously. It's wait a moment here. Man, my laptop is like really chugging, so hopefully that will not be audible in the back of the recording. If you hear a strange, like, whistling or whine, it's my laptop fan slowly dying. My laptop is like, it's like a decent machine, but it was not really, it's not high-end, it's like mid-tier, so it's not really like quite up to the task of processing video and things like that. It's having a difficult day. Okay, here we go. Basically, this map is going to be challenging because it has a lot of choke points. So you took a look at it last time, like we have to walk through narrow places, down the stairs, up here, so you know, it'll be tough to get our units into a position where they can fight well. As usual, our flying units are going to be loads of help, since they can just circumvent that. Ugh. Like, look how narrow these little areas are. It's gonna be very difficult. And for our non-flying units, one thing that's gonna be tough is that a lot of times they won't be able to go their full move because there's people in front of them. Like Xylo here could go a lot further, so it sort of makes the entire party slow down a lot. Which will just make this chapter a bit slow, basically. It's not like it's timed or anything, so it's fine. But it does make it a little more boring. Maps with choke points are a little boring to me just because it takes a long time to get anywhere and get to the point where you can do things. I'm like, come on, I want to play the game. But the flying units help alleviate that a lot. I have to just... You know, it's funny, I was worried that we would be super because I got everyone up to such a ridiculous point by grinding, but we don't seem to be. I mean, Ben is one-shotting things, but he has the broken plot sword also. The rest of our units, like the two birds and stuff, they're high level, but they're not one-shotting these dragons or anything. They do decent damage, but it seems like about where it should be. So I wonder if the game, like, expected you to do enough grinding that you're at this point, or if the battle is just supposed to be super, super hard. I don't really know. Why not? Just start off with a bang here. I love that Tao finally has enough MP that I can just actually use her highest level spell fairly frequently. It's so fun. I'm gonna have the birds help out with these enemies on the sides, because otherwise, because of the fact that our melee characters will have to sort of stand on the edge of the walkway to fight them, it's hard to get that many people attacking them, so it'll take ages to actually do anything, so... Meanwhile, our melee units can kind of head out towards the top and get some stuff done there. Want to take that guy out to keep the birds safe. I'm still undecided on whether, like, the game told us, an NPC said at one point that flying enemies take more damage from archers, but it's still not clear to me. They don't seem to a lot of the time, but just in case. Just in case. Best to keep those archers away from the burbs. Domingo is the one with the most MP for so long, but now Tao has actually surpassed him. To be fair, she's a lot higher level. In absolute level rather than, like, because he doesn't promote, so he's the equivalent of a promoted level 9. So, the extra levels don't hurt. It's honestly too bad Tao doesn't get the freeze spell line or the full bolt line, because she has so much MP she could make great use of it. Maybe that's why, though. It's like a balancing factor. Her spell is weaker, but she's going to be able to use it more often. Not sure. I'm gonna have her wait, because this is just a random mook. I feel like it's not worth burning 20 MP to use the single target, because the thing is, the single target freeze and blaze are both 10 MP. The single target bolt is 20 MP, but it doesn't do any more damage. So to me, the single target, the level 3 of bolt is totally worth it for clusters of enemies, but it's not worth using the single target version. It's kind of a waste. Oh, those blue dragons take a lot to take down. They have a ton of HP and they're tanky. So it's going to be a slow battle, because it's tough too, because a lot of the enemies we're facing are flying, so we can kind of just, and they're all approaching, so they're just kind of all going to clump up here. So, well, it feels like we're going to have a battle in the middle of the map, and then we'll walk over to the boss. That is a problem that recurs in this game, where with some of the indoor maps, this honestly has like an interesting and nice design, but because of the way the enemy AI works, we kind of don't have to go to a lot of it, because the enemies, you know, and not that it would be better to have the enemies just sit there so we'd have to walk all the way over, but it's just not designed such that the entire map is useful. And I realize it's like, you know, there's trade-offs, right? Because when we did that other map where, in the Tower of the Ancients, that was a really long map where we had to walk around a lot of it, and that made it really boring because it took forever. But a map that's large but there's no point in going on most of it isn't better. So, you know, you want a happy medium between those two somehow. The birds are so flexible because they can fly. You can put them into like the right spot to attack the enemy, but they're so fragile. Oh no, Ben's getting shot. Apparently that gun, either the skeleton has multiple hands, which it may. Oh yeah, it looks like they have like 4 arms, because I was gonna say, how is he operating the gun when his hands are full, but he has extra hands? So weird. That's truly one of the weirdest monsters we've come across. It's so strange. This battle is really tough, because it's like we're in a kind of a little choke point here. And we're just surrounded by monsters, so it's like, oh, we're in a tricky spot. Maybe I sent Ben out a little too far to the front. He took a lot of damage. But like, you know, I didn't want him to get trapped in the choke point either. It's tough, because this area is so narrow. At least he's got enough defense to survive the physical attacks. It's the special attacks that are a problem. He really needs a heal. Chris will get there eventually, hopefully. Man, I hope Aleph gets her turn soon, because this is the perfect scenario for Blast. It's amazing. But for now, we'll just start softening up the enemies with a Blaze 3. Oh, a deadly attack, nice. But it's funny because both does more damage and has more range. It costs twice as much, so it's like fair enough. But it is funny how it's like the level 3 of the other 2 spells kind of fall off in usefulness after a while. Of course, the level 4 is amazing, so, you know, it makes up for that. Oh, damn it. Dodging is just really... I've said this before, but the dodging is annoying because it just makes these battles take so long. Yeah, this is definitely... It's tough because we're surrounded by enemies on every side. And it's hard to kill them quickly. So, we may end up being stuck here for a little while. I guess we'll take this thing. Hopefully May will be able to take this guy out. Good job. And so we can either have Ben retreat, because if he was completely surrounded by enemies, he couldn't even retreat. I'm gonna take the risk and have him attack the Chimera, because I'm like, we gotta progress here, you know? And also, because of all the flying enemies, it's going to be hard to even get him in a position where he can't get attacked by something, so... Excellent job on the double attack. He actually managed to one-shot the Chimera. Oh, and he's now captain level. He will not level up after this. Oh, that's it for Balbaroy. He just didn't get, you know, the turns just didn't come up. So I thought we were over-leveled, but it's looking like we're not. Amazing considering the amount of grinding I did. I'm like, did the game really expect you to grind that much? That's pretty crazy, so... yeah, I guess we can only fit the 4 enemies in, but that's fine. We should at least be able to take out this guy and seriously chip some others. And I think the other jet had been injured too. Oh, we couldn't quite get it down though. They must have some kind of magic resist because... Oh wow, great job on that. They didn't take as much of the skeletons. This is what I mean, like, I saw people say the bolt is not as good at this part of the game, but it still seems really good to me. I know it costs a lot, but... It feels worth it. Man, those special attacks are tough because our defenses don't help. You can't, they do fixed damage. Or they ignore defense, anyway. There is a slight amount of variation in damage. Oh, we're gonna have to restart, yeah. Man, it kind of sucks that there's so many enemies with special attacks because... Like, well, I guess we'll be leveling up quite a bit in this anyway. It kind of sucks there's so many enemies with special attacks, because it's like, no matter how high our defenses are, there's nothing we can do. And I did send Ben out a little too far ahead of the force, but at the same time, because of all those flying enemies, even if we had kept him back a little, we still would have been swarmed, and we would have been in a worse position in terms of trying to hit them. So this battle will be very tough. The map design makes it kind of hard to do a lot. Because it's very narrow. I might, if we lose again, maybe I'll swap in Kokichi for someone. Because having an extra flyer will definitely aid with positioning. The mages are really good too, though, since they can multi-target. Okay, so this time I'll have him just stop here, I guess. It's like, this thing is, I don't want to pull him back too much, because we gotta get out of this choke point at some point. We just can't fight effectively trapped in it. There's a big rush of enemies at the start, basically. And unfortunately, the Chimera and the Dragons are both enemies that have, like, a ton of HP and the good defenses, so they take a while to take out. Oh, whoa, that was... Man, are the Chimeras, like, weak to ice? Because that was more damage, I felt like, than it... Maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like normally it did in the 40s of damage. That did more. That was really crazy. I was gonna try saving most of the MP for the bosses, but like, maybe I won't. That was really useful. That could have taken several turns otherwise. I wish I had my recording space set up here so that I could like sit in a more comfy chair, because I'm not even sitting on the entire storage chest. I have things piled on the other half of it, so I'm like sitting on the corner of the storage chest in a fairly small amount of space. Oh, I wish I had room to like pull in my really comfy chair. I have this great chair, but I don't have like a space to put it in my room, so it's like out on the porch. But it's such a good chair. You don't even know how good it is. Let's see. Hopefully one of our guys will get another turn before all the enemies, because I want Tyler to just take this guy out so we can keep moving forward out of the choke point, and hopefully someone else will be able to stand in front of her and keep her from getting completely killed. The horsemen do a massive amount of damage, and they have high range, so we can't hide our guys, so I want to take them out right away. Okay, last time we had a couple unlucky, like, misses and stuff, so this is helping this time. We already took out all the horsemen, so there's not as many people to attack Ben. So I think this will be okay this time. We narrowed the foes a little more. Because I'm like, this way hopefully some of the enemies will be lured up there so they're not like in a single cluster that we can't like attack effectively. Because we can't bring as many of our attackers in. That's honestly the problem with trying to fight them when they're like hovering over the abyss there right up against the edge of these platforms, is not enough of our fighters can actually attack them. So we want them to be attacking us in spaces where we can bring our full force to bear. It's going a little better this time. It's funny they didn't attack Tao, who I think they would do more damage to. Jeez, that's a lot of damage though. Like, holy shit. Are they close enough for her to hit with... Yeah, she can get all three in. The range on Bolt 3 is also really nice. It's not going to kill any of them, but they have a lot of HP, and this will make a good start in putting a dent in them. I would like to save as much as possible of her MP for the bosses, because there's multiple of them, so that'll be really helpful. But we also have to get through this part of the fight, and if we get overwhelmed by these enemies, our healing alone is not going to keep up. Like, they do too much damage, so we really gotta narrow the enemy forces here. Again, I briefly thought that was my units and started moving the cursor. So they do occasionally... I was starting to wonder because they'd use the special attack so much. Oh, this might be it for her. I love. It's tough though. It's tough because, like in that instance, I actually don't, like, she would have been sort of exposed to attack anyway because of the way the choke point is. There wasn't really a way to get out of the way. Man, is it like specific to Domingo, or are the chimeras weak to ice? Because that did so much damage. It was so... It usually doesn't do that much damage. It does a lot, but not that much. But where I think I was a little more aggressive this time, and I think I was a little luckier also. Last time we had some people dodging, but I think I was more aggressive in getting everyone up and out of this little narrow area. So that's helped. I never use this one just so we can kind of chip both of them down. Oh, I wish we hadn't missed that last attack. If Blue had hit, we probably would have killed that guy. I honestly am probably making the game harder on myself by using so many mages, because like the level 3 spells really fall off in usefulness at this point. But I love the mages. I want to win the game with the all-mage party here. Wow, that guy got a little lost. He fell behind his friends. May is so tanky now, it's great. You can just block those monsters like a champ. I guess I'll have Tao... She can get all of them in and do a lot of chip at once, so I think I'll do it. Maybe the chimeras resist fire and are weak to ice, because that did a little less than expected. Get rid of this guy. It is so nice to be able to just one-shot basically all of the monsters with the main character. Keeps them from building up too much. Okay, I'm actually gonna have her pull back and help against these dragons, because they're starting to build up a bit. We've got 3 dragons sitting in here. Oh, a deadly attack. Man, now I'm sad I didn't attack one of the others. I didn't realize she was going to do a deadly attack and just kill it. It's so frustrating when you leave these enemies at like such low HP. God, I wonder if the AI is programmed to try to not just slaughter your squishies. Because it could have killed Aleph. And it didn't. Like, maybe the designers realized that on most maps in the game, the enemies have enough movement range that there is no way to actually protect your squishies. So they were like, we'll take mercy on the player and make the AI not just always kill them. I don't want to use up all my MP before the boss, but I also don't want to be killed by chimeras because there's so many of them and they're really building up. I'll take out the jet first. Just try and... You just basically gotta just do some crowd control here and just keep whittling down the enemy forces. And hopefully the healer's turn will come up soon. There we go. Oh. Healing is kind of weird in this game. I like to always have a healer, but sometimes it feels like just... You don't want to use your other character's turns using healing items because they need to be attacking the monsters, so you'll never keep up. But it feels like Chris... Maybe it's because she's just not very fast. She just doesn't get her turn enough. Ugh, those dragons hit really hard, and they're really hard to kill. They have a lot of just HP. Oh, here we go, this is getting tough. There's just so many enemies attacking us at once, and we have no way to like stagger them. There's sort of, there's no walls to block them off, really. Just on this bridge. Really? That guy has dodged me twice. This is, oh, it annoys me more when I can't kill them because they dodge rather than because they have so much HP and defense. Because then I'm just like, this guy should have been dead by now, but he's not. And it's like, it's like my plan didn't work because of random chance, which bugs me. You know, it's, if a plan doesn't work because there was just a flaw in it, I'm like, okay, really? The dodging is just like random when you couldn't do it. Especially right now in this map, I will say, because the enemies are so strong. Maybe I'll try using the black ring. I haven't used any of these items yet, so let's give it a shot. You can't use it. Maybe only certain people can use them? Or maybe you can only use them when they're equipped, in which case they're basically just worthless. But seriously, in this map, the enemies are quite strong. So if we can't kill them because they keep dodging, then basically we could easily lose just because the number of enemies became overwhelming, we couldn't keep up. So it's even more annoying when they dodge, especially at low HP where you're like, I should have had that guy finished off by now, but I didn't because arbitrary reasons. And then you can't have your character move on to fight the next guy. There we go, fucking finally. Like, Blue missed that twice. This is, basically that means these are 2 attacks that could have been directed to another enemy. So that really slowed us down. I don't want to waste your MP, but I don't want there to be so many chimeras that we're gonna get people killed either, because we really need a lot of people for the boss. Oh, 1 point short, annoying. Well, I guess Tao can just, hopefully she can just smack him. I don't want to use up her MP. It dodged. I should just use Blaze 1, I really should have. Once you start getting frustrated, that's when you make bad strategic decisions. That's the challenge. Honestly, I will say, that's true in a lot of games. Like, even if you play platformers or anything like that, if you, like, lose the level a couple times and you start to get annoyed, then you'll start to make bad moves because you're trying to rush and get through it because you're frustrated, so then you'll start to lose even more. That's a problem with, like, so many games where, you know, when you aren't able to be patient and, like, concentrate on it fully because of frustration, you'll fuck up. And then you'll be even madder. See, with her, I actually don't want to use any of her spells. For the simple reason that she has enough MP for exactly 2 Bolt 3s. But her weapon is so weak that she's not really going to do anything, but I may as well have her at least attack. Because I'm like, I really want to save her MP. And not use any of the lower level spells, because she needs all of it for both of the monsters. So, let's just kick out this skeleton. We're doing okay here, though. We're not, there's a couple enemies left, and unfortunately we had a couple of unlucky misses, so... Oh, maybe 20 is not the cap, because he just got another level. I thought 20 was the cap, but clearly that's not the case. Maybe you stop gaining stats at some point? Oh, actually, now that I think of it, I remember reading something like that where someone was like, if you have, like, I think if you have the patience, you can get up to, like, level 99 or something. Not that you should, because that would take a really long time, a lot of grinding. But I guess, yeah. Because 20 was the cap for pre-promote, I had just sort of, it also was after you promote, but it's not, I guess. Who needs the heal? She could actually finish off the jet. It's risky, but I think I am gonna have her attack. And the reason is that if I have her just heal, she'd have to use, like, basically all of her usable MP. There we go, left. The healers became strong again. I didn't think they would again. They were weak a long time, but a couple of them got a lot of points in strength and really brought it back. But yeah, basically healing one character, like, we would still be falling behind just because of the sheer number of enemies and how much damage they do, whereas taking out an enemy prevents a lot more damage. I want to save his MP right now, I really do. We're at a tricky part of the fight where there are just a couple of these enemies left. Are you fucking kidding me with the dodging? I would have killed this guy by now if not for the dodging. But I really want to save MP for the boss. She still has plenty though. Blaze also costs less because it's weaker. It only costs 8. So she can cast it many times. Oh, you know, I bet the dragons are weak to fire, which is funny because they're dragons, but I guess they're blue dragons. Maybe they're like ice. Because that did far more damage than than Blaze 4 normally does. Like, it normally does it like in the 30s of damage. Ah, the fucking evasion! The evasion really annoys me because we would have been done with this a couple turns ago. Are you kidding me? If this thing like kills one of my units, I'll legitimately be super annoyed because it's like, it would feel like we lost someone solely because of bad luck rather than bad planning, because we, like, 3 people have attacked this guy. We should have been able to kill it by now. When you lose because of bad luck, it just feels much less, you know, you just feel unsatisfied. Whereas, like, if you lose because your plan didn't work or you didn't account for some factor, then it's like, okay, that was because I didn't plan well enough. But it's like, no, it's because you just missed 3 times in a row. Otherwise, this guy would have been dead. It's like, so basically there wasn't anything I could do about that. Because, like, in this game, the miss rate isn't something, A, that you know ahead of time, B, that you can do anything about. She only can cast one of these, but he's taken enough. This is a full heal, basically. So it would take so many heals to get him back to full, but we should spend it. Because that would have taken, like, a lot. And it would take him so many turns. This guy's just annoying me. And see, it's annoying, too, because, like, he wouldn't have taken that attack. Are you fucking kidding me? This thing is dodging so much. And again, like, he would not have taken that attack if not for all of the misses. So it's like wasting our resources through pure random chance, which we can't do anything about. Does Blaze 4 have enough range? I don't think it... No, it doesn't. Ugh. And, like, there's nothing we can do to mitigate that. We just have to keep trying to attack it, basically. Finally! It's like a factor that you can't account for or do anything about, so it's just there, messing you up. Which annoys me a lot. In a way, I'm like slightly less bothered by it in Fire Emblem, even though like it's still annoying when you miss, because the miss chance for each attack is listed. You know, you're kind of consciously being like, okay, do I think the likelihood of hitting is high enough for it to be worth it? So it feels, it's a little more strategic, whereas here it's like, well. Also, we're again seeing the problem where this game is full of maps, like because all the enemies just rush attacked us, like straight away, now we just have this map that has nothing on it except the boss that we have to walk over to. Maybe it summons more reinforcements, I don't know. But as of right now, we start out with a map that had all different stuff that you might fight as you move through it, but because they can all fly and they all aggro immediately, it's a map where there's nothing now. It's empty. And we just have to slowly walk through it. And it's still going to take ages because of the choke points. At least the flyers don't have to go through the choke points. But like, having all the enemies rush us at once did make that part challenging. But A, it did feel slightly bullshit just because it's like, you're in a narrow area where you can't maneuver well and you can't block these enemies because they can all fly around you. So it was kind of just like, well, and also it made the rest of the map really boring. Like, look at this. We'll eventually get there. And then, I don't know if we only have to beat, like, the Chief Chimera Brain, or if we have to beat all three. I actually don't know. It's gonna be really tough, because they each have 65 HP. They're really strong, and the other enemies on the map, like the Chimeras and Dragons, were also very strong, so we had to burn a lot of MP from our mages to kill them. So, we don't have as much left for the boss. And it was the kind of fight, I'll say, where we couldn't really just save everything for the boss or we wouldn't have survived that first part. Primarily because we were basically surrounded by a swarm of enemies that can fly and are really hard to kill. So if we had just been like chipping away at them, I don't think we could have kept up with it. Maybe that would not be the case if I had more melee fighters and less mages. But at the same time, a lot of them were using attacks that did fixed damage. And our melee fighters were taking loads of damage. So, oh, it looks like we can't fly through these metal walls. That makes it a little tougher to approach them. So, I don't think that would really have helped that much. Especially since our mages were honestly doing a lot of the work of killing them. And being super helpful. And a lot of our really strong, like Ben and May are two of our top tier melee fighters right now. They're both using weapons of which there's only one copy. So it's not like if I added another knight, they would be as good as May. They would still be good, but they would not be as good. Oh, this is gonna get tricky. Oh, and this is really hard because since the spells do fixed damage, we can't, it doesn't matter how much defense we have, we just have to tank them. Ugh. I'm kind of like, I certainly would not deny that this is difficult, but it's difficult in a way that I find a little annoying rather than like, really more evade. See, this is just, now I'm just like, this is irritating because it's not challenging. It's hard, but not challenging because dodging is luck-based. So it's like, maybe we'll be able to kill it, maybe we won't. But, oh man, it's got a ton of defense too, so I really feel like we basically, our special weapons and magic is it. That's what we have to do. This fight is hard. But I don't really feel like there's more we could do to win it than we're already doing. Except grind more, I guess, which would be really lame. Man, Blue and Xylo, like the characters that don't use weapons are very good. They're just like... Nice. Ugh, at least we got rid of that guy. You can see why I wanted to save more MP. He might die anyway, though, just because he has so little HP left, and I kind of needed him there to make that attack, so, you know. We gotta be really careful approaching the last guy, because he has a much harder range. Xylo, is this... at least he got 2 attacks. Xylo, is this, like, a problem specific to you rather than the enemy? Do you have, like, a low hit rate? But he chose not to attack. I really wonder if the AI is designed to, like, not go for KOs every time. Because it avoids them surprisingly often. It's a little weird. Oh, that guy's getting close. He's really dangerous, and it's taking ages for other units to get there. Maybe I should have waited for them all to arrive, but like, real talk, that would have been incredibly boring because it would take fucking forever. Like, walking across a tiny bridge to get my units somewhere is a very boring part of the game. It does not make it more interesting or strategic. I think I'll use it. I'm wondering whether some of them, they resist different elements because they use different elements, but I have no way to know. Ah, perfect. Freeze 4 is an extremely good spell. It's so freaking good. Henri still has 3 casts of it, so... hopefully we'll be able to just take this guy down as well. He's more dangerous because he can attack a lot more of us at once. Oh, alright, let's just chew through his HP. I don't think she can hit from here. Yeah, she cannot. I mean, I guess I'd probably use the level 4 anyway, because it's the same cost, and it does a little more. I thought that we would get her there before the other two were both dead. I could have attacked all three, but because of the design of the map, it's really hard to actually get your guys over there. Domingo, that's it for you. But you cast all but one of your spells, basically. So, no regrets. It's sad because if he had gotten one more turn, he would have defeated the boss, but he did good. He is incredibly useful, as you've just seen. Hopefully we'll be able to go back and, like, res him between fights. I don't really know what the sequence is here. If we have to, like, re-fight this if we go back to town, that would suck. It would be annoying. God, our other mages, why did I bother saving their MP? They never got in range to actually fight the boss. Are you kidding? More dodging! That probably would have killed him. That was, like, the last shot that we needed. Oh, okay. Well, at least we've got her ready to attack. I don't know whether this will kill him. I think it'll be fine. It usually does in the 30s of HP damage, so this should be... Yep, there we go. I was worried about that boss, but thanks to the power of level 4 magic, it wasn't that hard. That was really the Domingo show. Fools, Dark Dragon will come to destroy you. You've destroyed Colossus, but where's Darksol? I'd say behind there. Use the staircase, Ben! Darksol must be up there! Use the staircase! Nova thinks Ben is an idiot. He's like, he might not be able to figure out. He needs to fucking walk up the stairs. Dark Dragon, awake from your long sleep. The time has come for you to reclaim this land. Do we ever find out why Darksol is even doing this? Like, what's this angle? Awaken, Dark Dragon. Something is wrong. Ben, blast! You have meddled for the last time. Kill them, my servants. Ben, you must stop Darksol before he completes his foul ceremony. Attack! But first we're gonna egress. We're missing a party member. Let's check out the map at least. So I guess Dark Dragon is like... Oh, I guess he's like emerging out of this portal and like he's partially... He's like see-through here because he's not all the way into the world yet. Man, that's pretty creepy and cool. Here's Darksol, by the way. We're finally gonna fight him. Weird! He's actually... Well, we don't know how much HP he has. It's question mark, so presumably he like can't die or whatever. I think the thing here is that he like sacrifices himself and then Dark Dragon appears when we fight him. I'm not sure. But he doesn't... He has like very little attack. So he's not particularly tough, oddly. Why was he the one in charge? All of the commanders of Runefaust were stronger than him. I guess his mind control powers was all he's got. So again, this is a map that has a lot of narrow little bridges and things, so it's got a lot of choke points, which is generally shitty to deal with in this game. Lots of robot enemies in this one. I guess because we're in like the Sanctuary of the Ancients who robots a lot. Yeah, except for a couple healers and like these two dragons, it's all robots. So I guess we just go forwards, but we also have to take a detour to res our friend Domingo. Hopefully the game will let us do that. I mean, I think we can win regardless, but at least let's find out whether we have to refight that battle. Hopefully the answer is no. It would be shitty if that was the case. We finished it. Bring Domingo back. He was so useful. Wow, he costs a full 300 coins. I think it goes up as your level goes up, and because his listed level is 30, whereas, you know, some of the others are like level 8 or whatever, he's more expensive. And you can see Balbor is like level 15, so I think it's... I forgot that he died, you know, because he died pretty early in the battle, so for some reason I was like, oh, that was from the previous time that we tried that, but it was this time. I'm glad we went back because I forgot that he was gone. Sorry, Balbor, you're actually quite useful, but there's a lot of party members, okay? Sometimes I lose track. Oh, damn it, I walked back in the castle. Well, it's only been like 40 minutes, and I think that once we defeat Darksol, there's another battle, so let's at least try to defeat Darksol so we can get a peek at the final battle of the game. And maybe, if this is the final battle, maybe I'll just let the episode run over and it'll just be a really long, big finale episode. Oh good, so we can just go right through this part. We still have to walk around all these irritating little drawbridges though. Seriously, maps where a big feature of the map is just walking until you get somewhere? Boring. Okay, here we go. At least it doesn't make us rewatch the cutscene. A couple maps have done that, but this one they were like, you've seen it. It would have reduced the drama is the thing if you had to do it again every time. Just let us get straight into the action. Push forward. Oh, this little choke point sucks. Just gotta get there. See, the flyers let you basically fit more people in the choke point because they can go along the side. So they just keep, like, let our they make sure our army doesn't get slowed down as much, basically. I wonder if this map has a different music. I'll know when I watch the video to check if it works. But right now, I have the volume on the TV low so that the mic won't pick it up. So I can like very faintly hear the sound of the game, but not enough to be able to distinguish the music. It kind of sounds like it might be a different song. I'm not sure though. Ugh, these torch eyes suck. I feel like we just gotta power through and walk past them basically though. We don't have time for this. We gotta get to Darksol. And like, there's really no way to avoid being stuck in this little choke point. You have to walk through it. So it's, and the torch eyes are clearly positioned there to make you get hit by them as you go past. So it's really annoying, especially since, again, their attack ignores your defenses. It just does around a fixed 20 damage, and 20 damage is a lot. And there's 4 of them, so we just get super beat up before we even get there. With no way to really do anything about that. Ugh, and because she got her turn first and the choke point is still full, she can't go anywhere. This is why maps with choke points, they're just annoying. They just make it take longer because you're waiting. Games where a major feature of the game is waiting around for stuff are not that fun. You want to play the game. There we go. Luckily, we have a lot of these robots, and we have a lot of units who can one-shot them now, so at least we can kind of rush through quickly. I guess I'll just move her at least out of range. Tao can't get out of the choke point, so let's just have her kill one of the torch eyes. So we can reduce the danger level here. Man, if you really can't get to level 99 in this game, the level cap is absurdly high. Like, you definitely don't need to. I think I'm gonna have Balboy play it safe and stay back. Because, like, this wouldn't even be the first time that he's gotten killed early in a battle. It happened last time, too. His defenses aren't that high. Almond turned out a little tankier overall and with a bit more HP. Ben, just rush in there and get rid of this torch eye. They're quite dangerous. There we go. And then we gotta just try and take out Darksol. I feel like I just feel like he's definitely gonna, like, turn into Dark Dragon or something. Like, this fight won't go as we expect. It won't, like, be legit. Oh, I should have just used... I was just rushing through the button presses and didn't look. I could have used Freeze 2 or 3 instead. Oh well, it'll be fine. But, I have a feeling we're not going to get to properly fight him. I'm gonna have her here because she can't attack multiples yet, and that is our general goal. We didn't have anyone in position who could kill that last torch eye, but, you know, we did what we could. Yeah, so this is their alternate attack with the laser. It's basically the same as the torch eye's attack, except the torch eye use it every time, and they use it just sometimes. This is tough. Oh, they have a special attack too, I guess. Man, and they got double attacks? That was really bullshit. That was really bullshit, because they use an attack that can't be resisted, and they randomly doubled, so they just did like 40 damage. A lot of my units would just die. Oh, that was annoying. See, stuff like that where you die, it's honestly, I feel this way in Fire Emblem when you die from critical hits also. When there was like a low crit chance, an enemy like kills you from a 3% crit chance. It's annoying because you're like, that wasn't something I could have done anything about or anticipated. It just randomly made me lose. Those always suck. I would say that I feel like I think probably it is not uncommon for gamers to feel that you know, skill-based games are better than gens-based. This map setup is legitimately difficult because you're forced to this choke point where you're surrounded by things that can do tons of damage to you. But I also feel like it's sort of... The difficulty doesn't make you do anything particularly strategic because you have to go through it, so it's just like, well, I guess I'll just do that. Like, you just have to put up with it. You can't really strategize around it. We gotta get to Darksol. He's summoning Dark Dragon. I actually don't know whether this is timed in any way. I don't think so, because it would be so strange if it was. Like, nothing else in the game has been. It would be kind of shitty. So I'm assuming that whatever will happen happen when we attack him, but I don't really know. Because again, I do not remember this at all. I don't even know if I ever got here before. It's possible I did. It's possible I didn't. I have no memory of it. I don't even remember if I ever beat the game. If I did, I didn't retain any knowledge of it. Whereas I know I beat Sword of Asia. Like, I remember the ending cutscene and everything. Although it's funny, I didn't beat Sword of Asia as a kid. I think they may resist ice, so I'm gonna bump up to freeze too. Because, mainly because of, I talked earlier in this Let's Play series about the bug with Freeze 3. I hit a map when I was a kid where just like, you have to get past a guy who has it, and it was just so difficult that I think I got frustrated with the game and gave up as a kid. But as an adult, I got it on Virtual Console on 3DS, and I went back and I actually did beat the game and finally got to see the ending, which was cool. Darksol, he doesn't even have a weapon. He's just sort of standing there. I'm actually going to use Bolt 3. It does a little less, but it'll catch... Oh, actually, I guess there's no way to get him and them, so... I guess I'll use Bolt 4, because actually, I don't know whether killing him is what we're meant to be doing, to be honest. Oh, apparently yes, okay, because I wasn't sure if the question marks meant that he doesn't actually have an HP bar, and he'll just never die, or if it was just higher than 99. Apparently it's just higher than 99. Also, that bolt did a ton of damage, so he might be, like, vulnerable to it or something. I don't know if he has, like, a weakness. Because that did, like, 50 damage, which it normally does, like, 30. So maybe he's vulnerable to spells, I don't know. But I think whatever's gonna happen will happen when we kill him. Balborough may end up dying here, but, you know, I just want to have him actually do something. Oh, I meant to have Chris heal him and then forgot. Well, I wanted to move her forward, you know? Oh, Balborough, you were good enough to get a double, but then you missed, making it useless, so... Mixed feelings. Keep hammering away at Darksol, we gotta kill him. He's summoning the Dark Dragon. I'm pretty sure we have no means to stop him, though, and when we kill him, it'll just happen anyway. It's the nature of games, am I right? Poor Domingo, they seem to go after him quite a lot, too. I mean, he's very strong, but still. See, those special attacks are honestly kind of bullshit because they're not blockable. The enemy has high enough movement and flying, but you can't really avoid it. And they do a ton of damage, so you just... And Domingo has a lot of HP, yet it's still a threat to him. So it's pretty shitty. It's like there's just there and there's not. You can't strategize around them because you can't, like, block those guys off from getting to you. They can fly. They can go around your other guy dudes. Hopefully Ben will get a turn before more robots attack him. Maybe I should have kept him with the agility ring, honestly. I thought he had enough, but maybe he doesn't. Why is that guy attacking us instead of healing Darksol? I don't understand the AI. Isn't the entire point of those priest enemies to heal? Like, they're not particularly good at attacking. Why would you have them do anything but heal the boss? The AI in this game still baffles me. Nice. So I guess I'm thinking that maybe once you get to the maximum level, your stat gains drop off a little, maybe? Or at least once you get to 20 and go beyond that, maybe you don't get as many stats, or maybe that was random chance, I have no idea. Alright, now we're gonna see what'll happen next. It feels fitting that Henri defeated Darksol because he murdered her father. So, you know, this is like vengeance for what he did. Yeah, I knew it. Obviously, we couldn't stop him. Dark Dragon, with my dying breath, I summon you. Arise, Dark Dragon. Oh my god, one final epilepsy warning for this game. Holy shit, that was bright. At last, you are awakening. I offer myself to you, Dark Dragon. Use my power to help you cast off your bonds. Why did he do all of this? We never found out. How did he know about the Dark Dragon? Why did he want it to come back? Why does he want the world destroyed? Like, who is he? You are free once more. Let all of ruin tremble. I die fulfilled. Cringe, fools! Well, he went out pretty badass, I gotta say. But yeah, it's just not... We never find out why he's doing all of this. What his motive is. Holy shit, that's a lot creepier than it looked when it was in outline form. Those, like, empty eye sockets. Oh my god, that thing is creepy. Ugh. Sad maze now. Look at this thing. Ew, look at... Oh, it's got these, like, weird... pulsing bits? Oh, this thing is horrifying. Oh, man. Wow, look at its face portrait, too. That's eerie. Man, this thing looks like something straight out of, like, a horror game. From the outline on the floor, I thought it was going to be just, like, a dragon, but evil. But this thing is like a demon monster. It's still not even all the way out. It's... Ugh. There is some weirdness going on there. I don't know if we have to defeat all 3 heads or just the middle one. I gotta say, this thing is sufficiently horrifying to be the final boss that threatens the whole world, though. Like, you know, you kind of feel like, yeah, it could threaten the whole world. It's messed up enough. It's funny, the little heads on the side have slightly higher attack. No, they're smaller. I don't think I ever got to this boss in the past because I feel like I would remember this, and I definitely don't. I'm like, what is going on here? And I don't remember how you kill it, if other than just... I don't remember how it attacks either. Oh man, I'm a little nervous here. Oh, they clearly get individual turns. I guess we just have to walk up and... Oh, to attack its head, we have to be, like, standing in its jaw. This is so creepy. Look at it! What is... Is that, like, its hands moving? Is that, like, air flowing from it? This is very weird. Yeah, our stat games seem to have decreased a ton after we pass level 20, so maybe that's it. I'll use, like, bolt... Oh, we can't quite get it in range. In that case, I'll have her move over and, like, get ready. I gotta say, this enemy is super creepy and weird, but it's not a particularly well-designed battle, because we basically just have to stand around hitting it. There's not anything else we can do. So, like, this fight doesn't feel particularly strategic. I'm sure it's gonna attack and, like, slaughter us, but there's nothing we can do about that. We just have to keep fighting. So, the battle doesn't feel interesting. Seriously, what's going on with, like, the clouds in front of it? Is that, like, its breath, like, flowing forth or something? Or is that, like, smoke from the summoning or what? Oh, we gotta get rid of that. I'm assuming those little panels will keep summoning more dudes, but we do have to get rid of them because they do a lot of damage. Yeah, they're probably gonna just keep doing that. Oops. Well, she'll be in range to hit Dark Dragon next turn. For now, she can attack this guy. Yeah. Oh, she actually managed to kill him. Oh, they must be weak to fire, because that did a ton of damage. Good job, Chow. Yeah, I feel like when we first promoted, there was this initial... Wow. So it's got, like, the range 3 stuff. Demon Breath. Oh, it does a ton of damage, too. But you know what the problem is? Our healing would never be able to keep up with that. Maybe if we grind up Tarasu and get Aura. But even then, if we don't kill it fast, there's no way we'll ever keep up. But we don't seem to be... Maybe we have to use the Chaos Breaker as like an item? But nothing in the game mentioned that. I wish I at least knew how much HP it had. So I had some idea of whether I was even succeeding at all. Well, if we lose, I guess I'll, like, look it up and we can see if there's an explanation of this fight other than you just gotta hit it a bunch. Because, yeah. So the heads on the sides use smaller attacks. Oh, so they use like Freeze and Blaze, I guess. And the middle one, I guess, is sort of a Bolt clone, basically. Domingo, you just... I'm like, I guess we just gotta keep wailing at it. What else can we do? Man, the HP is still question mark, so I have no idea whether it just has a lot and we haven't depleted it all yet, or whether there is no way to deplete it all, and we're supposed to do something else. Oh, there is! Okay, okay, we're doing it. Okay, we're actually pretty close, too. Man, it must be weak to Bolt, because... Or maybe Bolt 4 does more than I thought. Maybe I was mistaken. I tried it in the past, and, you know, maybe the enemy we tried it on at first it had magic resistance. And it actually does do that much. In which case, I really don't understand why people were like, she's not worth using, because the Bolt spells are great. They're doing so much damage. That did like 50 damage. Okay, we've almost got him. Hopefully... Oh, did we do it? Do we have to kill all the heads or just one? Let's see if we did it. Even if we have to kill the others, they're not going to be nearly as hard. Okay, we have to kill all of them, but that's honestly fine because the other heads can't... The spell they're using is not that big. That giant spell that did like 20 to all of us, that was the big danger. So these heads on the sides will not be as difficult. Hopefully, but sadly not guaranteed, hopefully this isn't like timed and the others will eventually come back. We're gonna take some losses here, like that skeleton can definitely kill Xylo, etc. But my feeling is that the best way to kill them is just basically all out attack, just blitz. And just try to get them down as fast as possible. Because these things all do a lot of damage, and I don't think we're gonna be able to keep up just their healing. We have to attack. And just try to go fast. Alright, you have to attack the eyes, not the mouth. Sort of hard to tell which square it's in. We'll just have to do all we can and just keep going. If they all have a similar amount of HP, this is going to take a while, because that other one seemed like it had maybe, what, 200, 250? I honestly wasn't like super keeping track of how much damage we were doing, but it felt like it was between those two. These heads are smaller, so I don't know if they have less HP, but they definitely have a lot. So I'm assuming this one does Blaze since the other one did Freeze. No, they both do Freeze, I guess. Well, it's more powerful than Blaze. But see, this is the thing. The middle head was basically using Bolt 3, which is really strong and attacked all of us. These heads on the sides, Freeze 2 just... It's not that it does nothing, but it does not very much at this stage of the game, where we have characters with 50 HP. Back in the day, it was dangerous, but now, 10 damage isn't that much anymore. Now, because we have to surround it in order to... Oh, it can... Oh, it doesn't just cast... It can also cast this, huh? I thought they would have the same attack over and over, but apparently not. So I feel like we're gonna lose a lot of party members, because there's no way we can keep up with the healing is the thing. There really is not. And I feel like if we try to like play it cautiously and keep pulling people back and healing, we'll just never keep up. We'll lose the damage race here. So I think we just have to keep wailing. Basically. It's that kind of fight. Maybe we should have trained up Tarasu, because Aura level 4, if you grind him up far enough, I didn't get him high enough level to have it, but you can get him to a point where, basically, he has a thing that will heal your whole party. It costs a lot. But it would definitely be useful here. Okay, man, Bolt 4 is really strong. I will admit, point for point, Freeze, it costs half as much, and it does almost as much damage. So point for point, Freeze 4 is stronger. But Bolt 4 is nothing to sneeze at, and I'm truly baffled that people are like, it's not worth using Aleph, because she's so strong. It's gonna take ages to kill both of them, though. This is gonna be a slow battle. Hopefully, we'll be able to keep our mages in play, because they are really what made the original kill possible. They just do so much damage at once. It's like, after seeing this fight, I think, viewers, you finally understand fully why I bring all of the mages to every battle, because they're really, really strong. Oh man, well, we're getting there. Especially now we have their endgame spells that can do like 40 or 50 damage a pop. If May hadn't died in the initial attack, this would definitely be easier because she does a lot of damage thanks to the Valkyrie, but unless we die here, I don't want to go back and res her. If we die, obviously I will, but I want to see if we can just get through it. And they're really going after Domingo. To be fair, he's like the most dangerous character because of his Freeze 4. Freeze 4 is strong. Blaze 4 is just not quite as powerful, but it is cheaper. Oh wow, a deadly to dang, and maybe it's weak to fire? She just did 72 damage in one hit. What? That was pretty darn impressive. Holy shit. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. 65 HP to go. Oh, unfortunately we can't walk on top of Dark Dragon, so we have to walk all the way up to the other head. It's like, Ben, learn to climb over things. Just walk on top of his body. But we're getting there. We can do this. We're gonna make it. It's a slow fight, but see, I think this enemy is actually pretty epic, so it makes a nice end to the game, but the fight is not actually an interesting fight. This is very boring. We're just standing here hitting things. There's no strategy to this. So, like, I just want to say... And I mean, I will say this is not a problem unique to this game, not even remotely. This is a problem that I found comes up in lots... I say, not that I've played lots of strategy RPGs, but I've seen it in most of the Fire Emblem games too, in that series, is that, you know, at the end of the game, there's often desire to have a big boss level, right? And that does it. That takes us home. We won. Unless there's something else after this. 92 damage! Are they just really weak to magic? Or, you know, I wonder if there's a mechanic where it's designed so that once you have them down to, like, less than 50 HP, it's designed to have you just kill it on the next attack to make you less bored. Blah blah blah, these puny creatures, I will not be banished again, the powers of darkness will sustain me. I thought I would have to click to scroll through that, so I wasn't looking, sorry. Dark Dragon still lives. Perhaps we cannot kill him. There must be a way. Ben, Dark Dragon must be sealed away once again, and only you can do it. Use the Chaos Breaker. Drive it through Dark Dragon. I already did that like 5 times. I fought him. Fools, nothing you can stop me. I am Dark Dragon, darkness incarnate. Ben, stab him with the Chaos Breaker. And this is why it's not possible to kill Dark Dragon, and that's why he comes back to menace the world again in sequels. Ben, the Castle of the Ancients is sinking. Let's get out of here! But Ben cannot move! Oh, because he has his hand on the Chaos Breaker! Ben is somehow bound to the Chaos Breaker! I guess this is what it costs to seal Dark Dragon. Ben, break free! We won't leave without you! Guys, you gotta go! You gotta go! Just do it! I can't get free, but you won't die with me. Wow, that was hard to read. The screen was going crazy. Ben used his egress magic to save us. Oh, right! He has egress! That spell's supposed to get us all out. Why isn't Ben here? Why, Nova? I have no answers for you. Perhaps a great hero is needed to guard the seal. Perhaps he must stand as an eternal vigil to prevent Dark Dragon's return. But why did it have to be Ben? Any of us would have taken his place, but you can't wield the Chaos Breaker. I won't believe it. Ben will come back, I know it. Perhaps Ben will still come out. Wait, look at the castle! This is a lot like Persona 3, where the hero has to guard the seal. I like that they worked in egress, though. He's the only one with egress he's had the whole game. It's gone, the castle, and Ben with it, so he uses that to save them at the end. That's clever. That's it. He didn't escape. He's gone. I won't believe it. Ben has saved all of Rune. His sacrifice will be remembered forever. And now, friends, it is time for us to begin the long journey home. I won't believe it. Ben! Yeah, well, it's, you know, it's kind of fitting because the party at the end there was basically, was in order of recruitment, so it was like our friends who'd been with us the whole time. Swallowed by the murky brine, the castle blah blah blah, the battle over and Rune saved, the warriors of the Shining Force returned home. Led by May, Guardiana was rebuilt and Henri inherited the throne. As for Ben, he is believed to have perished at sea along with Dark Dragon. Aren't they just still in the castle? And that is the official ending, but you and I know differently, don't we? Somewhere, evil stirs in a land that has need of a hero. And I know you'll be up to the challenge, Ben. Well, goodbye for now. I have a feeling I'll be seeing you again. So does that imply... And that's the end of Shining Force, friends. I think it's roll credits here. Unless the game doesn't do that. Here we go, roll credits. So that was Shining Force. It didn't take as long as I thought to finish. Oh, we'll have a lot of cool battle scenes at the end here, I guess, during the credits where we see all the different animations. That's neat. I don't know what sword that is that the bird attacker is using. We didn't get that one. It's a very cool staff. I like how they're doing the credits here, how like there's different battle scenes and stuff, because they look cool. I like the graphics here. It's, you know, this honestly makes me continue to wonder who Simone, the girl on the save screen, who she actually is. Because she's basically talking to the player, obviously. The idea is you name the character after yourself. And when she's like, oh, I'm sure I'll see you again, obviously that's like the sequel hook, right? It's like, you'll be back for the sequel. And I think maybe this implies that she's the same person who's on the save screen of the other Shining Force games. Because I know Shining Force Sword of Asia also has a save screen where the game opens with a little girl reading a book. And the book she's reading is Your Adventure, basically. Which is like this one. So who is she? It's like, is that just supposed to be kind of a little meta kind of joke? Or is she supposed to literally be some person who lives in another dimension where the hero became trapped, or I don't even know what. Like, is she a character in the story? I should look that up. I don't know if it's actually clarified anywhere in the game, but honestly, she's kind of the most intriguing character to me now, because I'm like, who is she supposed to be? Is she meant to actually have some lore significance, or was it just kind of like, this will be a fun way to do the save screen? I don't know. It would be cool if she did have lore significance, though. I kind of hope she does. It's also kind of funny to me that at the end, the characters standing around are the earliest party recruits, and it makes sense because it's like these were people who lived in the main character's hometown, so presumably they were his pals, and Lo, of course, is explicitly said to be your friend at the end of the game. And like you and May, it's like you both wanted to avenge Varios, and like, wow, we never got to see his attack animation, that one. That was pretty cool. You both wanted to avenge Varios, so it's like you travel this way to do that. But, like, you weren't necessarily... We didn't use Lo in our party, so a lot of the party members we used for most of the game are not in the final cutscene. And obviously, I kind of wish they actually did what a lot of Fire Emblem games do, where each character you can recruit has their own quote for the final battle, and you just get the ones of the people you bring. Which makes it feel a little more personalized. Oh, there must be a special attack for the Chaos Breaker, which we never managed to get, but it's cool looking. But it's funny that Henri doesn't have any dialogue in the ending, because she's a fairly important plot character, but she doesn't get to do anything. Well, hello there. You look like you're a long way from home. We don't see many folk in full armor like that. That's the robot. Quite a fancy getup. That guy appears to be like a frog person. I have come a long way. Longer than you can imagine. It's been 1,000 years. Yeah, he was waiting down there all that time. I must say, you do look pretty tired, and well... Your things have seen better days. I'm tired of wandering. I'm looking for a place to settle down and rest. Well, how about right here? Just on the ground. Lend your hands to the fields of our village. Aww. Adam got a home. That sounds like just what I need right now. I work hard and I'm a fast learner. Is that character Ben? Good, we've got a deal then. That looks like his unpromoted version. Folks in the village will be excited to see a new face. I didn't catch your name. What do they call you? Me can call me... Oh, so I guess the robot in the background is... Oh, maybe the implication is that the robot rescued him from the castle? Because he's part of the legacy of the Ancients, so maybe he could have. Because otherwise... That robot just being in the background is very weird and unconnected to anything. So I guess the implication is that he was rescued from the castle? Because that was definitely Ben. That's his unpromoted sprite. And the fact that he doesn't say his name is probably because, like, it's whatever you put in. So I guess he, like, settles down somewhere after maybe Adam rescued him from the castle. Because that robot looked just like Adam's promoted sprite. That's interesting. I don't really know what the final cutscene there is supposed to mean. If it like implies that he, or if maybe that's set in the distant future. So it's like one day he was actually finished guarding the seal, like he was done, and he actually did survive and go off somewhere. I don't know. It's very vague. I'll have to like look up if there's any lore significance to that, because there is a sequel to this game. There are several sequels. And they're in the same world, but they don't, like, use all of the same characters. So I don't know if they clarified the fate of the main character. But yeah, wow, that was Shining Force. And I really wonder now who Simone is meant to be. If she has, like, a... Because the Shining Force games, actually, there's a lot of them, and they have a fairly involved lore and, like, all the links between them. It's a pretty complicated series. So now I actually wonder if there is some sort of lore significance to her, but we finally got to the end of the game, and I'm pretty sure I never beat it before because I had no memory of any of that last fight in the ending sequence. So I finally beat this game, you know, came back to my childhood game here and finally finished it up. We sealed Dark Dragon away and saved the world at the cost of our hero's life. I don't know if I'll do the sequel because it's a lot more this game is pretty straightforward. You just go from map to map to map. The sequel has a lot more going on and a lot more of the exploration parts and like branching routes, and it's a bit much. This game I had at least played towards the end game. The sequel, I played like the first chapter and nothing else. So we'll see. I don't know. But if I ever post this anywhere and there are ever any viewers of this, thanks for sticking with me all of this way as we made our way through the land of Rune and fought the hordes of Darksol and Dark Dragon and finally got to the end of this classic game, which this is not... I didn't play this specific game as a kid. I played Shining Force Sword of Asia, but the Shining Force series game, that was the first tactics RPG I ever played as a kid. And I don't play a ton of tactics RPGs now, but like Fire Emblem is now one of my favorite game series of all times, and maybe I wouldn't have gotten as into it if I hadn't originally played this game and, you know, kind of gotten into the genre. So this was definitely an important game for me personally, but also like in gaming history. The Shining series has gone on, and I think the most recent game came out in like 2014, and there was a remake of it that just came out on Switch. So, yeah. Story of Shining Force. The very first Shining Force game. What a long journey. Well, I don't know what I'll do next. There's a couple different games maybe recording. Ironically, probably if I do one, it will be another strategy RPG or a spin-off from a strategy RPG franchise. That seems the most likely. But thanks for sticking with us all this way, viewers. And thanks for saving our game all the time, Simone. We're finally wrapping up the Shining Force Let's Play here. Thanks for watching, viewers, and this has been Shining Force.